Thank you very much, Simon. He said I'm a sociologist. That means that it will be pretty complicated. No, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be here. And what I want to do tonight is to unravel the mystery of reputation management to you. At least I try. And the term of reputation, of course, has been booming since the financial market crisis. But I will not only talk about the banks, rather I want to show you that really reputation concerns us all. So if we as individuals enjoy a good reputation, then for example we increase our career chances, that's really very important. We make better contacts more easily. We have better motivated employees. We have more loyal customers. We have steadier relationships, very important. And we are even more successful in courtship behavior. I will show that in the end of my speech. So, but what exactly is reputation? I will have done a good job if you remember or never forget that really reputation always consists of exactly 3 components. Regardless of whether we talk of a manager, a politician, a scientist like me, or even the Pope, it's always 3 reputation types or dimensions you have to think of and to remember. So already the famous and well-known Plato, the old Greek philosopher, was well aware of this 3 zone. He said that all actors have always to prove themselves in exactly 3 worlds, namely a world of the true, a world of the good, and a world of the beautiful. And in the world of true, what did he mean by that? He meant that it is really very crucial that people are successful in performing tasks. It means that they are making a good job, whether as a politician, a manager, or something else. In the world of the good, it's relevant whether they are good or bad citizens. And thirdly, we have the world of the beautiful, and this was really very vital for Plato. Beauty was, in the first instance, indeed understood by Plato in a sense of physical beauty. Because you all know the Greeks were pretty famous for their quest of the perfect body. You have just to look at the statues around the temples, and then you know what I mean. Nevertheless, Plato was even more interested in the inner beauty. And that means that for him it was really very relevant that people were able to inspire others by their ideas. So, and that's, in fact, the most important thing I want to say you, that really this 3rd dimension and the capability to inspire others is really very, very crucial in reputation building processes. So let's have a look at these 3 reputation worlds. Firstly, we have the reputation world of the true. This is also, in our technical language, the world of the function systems, such as business, politics, science, etc. As I said, here it is crucial whether a person is serving his purpose well or not, whether she or he is successful in fulfilling his or her mission. So in this dimension, in this reputation world, we talk here of functional reputation. Reputation is clearly tied to competence or the indicator of success. This is also the world, this world is clearly dominated also by figures. Stock market prices, the proportion of the voters, the length of a list of scientific publications really determine the reputation of the actors in this field. And that's also explaining why this is the most boring type of reputation. Secondly, we have the reputation of the good. Here we talk about the world of norms and values. The question is whether a person is a good or bad citizen, whether she or he is behaving with integrity. So we talk about social reputation, social responsibility. In our days of the mass media, this reputation world has become extremely important because the media have increasingly focused on morality issues. They know that nothing sells better than the morally incorrect conduct of a person, of course. So, and thirdly, we have this world of the beautiful. This is the world of emotions, the world of individual appearance. The question is whether she or he is having, or an organization is having a distinctive and attractive profile. We talk here of the expressive reputation, emotional appeal, the fascination of an actor is really crucial and relevant in this world. All three dimensions are important, but this is clearly the most important one. Our research shows that actors with an independent and fascinating profile are by far the most successful in their corresponding fields. Apple Macintosh, for example, is a good example for a company with an emotional aura around the company, with fascinating product, and that's also the reason why we have a Macintosh here as a presenting computer. Thank you, Simon. So now it's getting really very technical. We are now able to define the secret of a successful reputation management in exactly 3 dimensions. The first dimension, the dimension of functional reputation, it is crucial to fulfill functions, to be good in performing tasks. Secondly, social reputation, it's crucial, relevant to observe social norms. And thirdly, the expressive dimension, it's relevant, very important to have an attractive profile. So overall, the secret of a good reputation management is based on a delicate balance between adaptation and distinction. In the dimension of adaptation, it is crucial to fulfill functional and social expectations. And in the dimension of distinction, it is really very important to have an autonomous, fascinating, unique profile. And that means this thing of distinction is really very important. You have to swim sometimes against the current. And for example, not make any trend, for example, to sell toxic subprime mortgages or anything like this. So it's really relevant to have a distinctive identity and profile. So let's have a closer look at some examples of the 3 dimensions. Swatch, the Swiss watch manufacturer, was in the first rank of our reputation poll we conducted last year. What is the reason of this really very excellent reputation profile of this company? In the functional reputation, Swatch is perceived as being successful despite the current business and economic crisis. And in the social reputation, Swatch can still rely on its reputation of having rescued the Swiss watch industry in the 80s. Moreover, Hayek has opposed to the extremes of casino capitalism at a very early stage. And thirdly, in the expressive reputation, of course, Swatch sells very unique, fascinating products. And what is also interesting, that Swatch is one of a very few global players who have become aware of the potency of the native factor as a great means, a great instrument to raise emotions. So let's look at the opposite, the big bank UBS, you probably all know. Functional reputation, we have a perception that this big bank nearly caused its own ruin. In social reputation, we have a perception, for example, that this company broke the law or even helped its clients to cheat the tax administration from the United States. And in the expressive reputation dimension, the identity, the profile, which is that important for reputation building, is clearly reduced. The company is reduced to this crisis itself. So if you can say the identity of UBS stands for crisis itself. So speaking of the crisis, let's look at the reputation effects of the current financial market crisis. What you have here is the reputation development of the red line of the Swiss financial sector over time between 2003 and 2010. On the one hand side, on the other hand, you have the reputation development of the Swiss banking secrecy over time. And what we have here is really the fundamental collapse, the reputation collapse of the Swiss financial sector. 2 reasons are responsible for that. Firstly, that of course the Swiss financial sector was involved into the subprime crisis and therefore lost its aura of a safe haven. And secondly, that's even more important, that the Swiss financial sector lost its most important reputation driver. That means the trust into the banking secrecy. So So this crisis strains all three reputation dimensions, but expressive reputation is far more affected than the others. Since the banking secrecy light has been introduced, means since Switzerland accepted the tax standard from OECD 26, the banking secrecy broke away and they lost really their most important reputation driver. And that shows that really the severe reputation crises are always affecting the identity, the profile of an actor here, of the financial sector itself. But the financial crisis did not only affect the banks. Of course, we have also effects here. If you look at the economy itself, here you have the results of our reputation poll of last year. We have Swatch Group, which I mentioned, on the first rank. We have Flint & Sprüngli on the second rank. We have Migros on the third rank. And this shows that we have all here traditional Swiss companies on the first ranks. Companies with quite conservative business models, with long-term strategies. And that shows that overall, small over big, regional over global, and low-risk over bubble economy have become the most important drivers for a good reputation. So let me wrap it all up for you. Everywhere we have three reputation worlds, also in our everyday lives. Just imagine you meet your dream partner at a party after the usual small talk starting about the weather, the quality of the drinks, the quality of the speakers perhaps, or anything else. You will soon start your personal reputation management. You will present yourself as a very successful person, somebody who can make a difference. Secondly, you will hint at your well-developed sense of responsibility and let the other know that you are really very reliable. And thirdly, and that is really decisive, you will, decisive for courtship behavior, you will make believe the other that you are by no means a grey mouse. On the contrary, that you are a fascinating and very charismatic person. So, gentlemen, if you want to attract the ladies, never forget, don't be boring and work on your expressive reputation. Thank you.